Okay, welcome to our science fair. My name is Magnus and this is Magnus. And we have about dirty water into drinking water.
Yeah, introduction. In this topic we'll make a homemade life straw. In a life straw you can make dirty water into clean drinking water by sucking it up through the life straw. That's why we call that topic making dirty water into drinking water. We thought that it would be a good idea and that we would learn a lot from making this. We would also like to know how people in Africa and other places without water sources get clean drinking water. We actually didn't think they had a way of getting clean drinking water.
Hypothesis. We think that the life straw will be good, but we don't think that all the bacteria will be filtered away. But yeah, we think it would be safe enough to drink the water, and we will definitely try to drink it. We think that the water will have a little bit of aftertaste of dirt or what we put in the life straw to filter. Yeah.
Purpose. We chose the topic dirty water into drinking water because we didn't know how the poor people in Africa and other places got clean drinking water. We saw some YouTube videos about the life straw and how you can make your own life straw, and we found it very interesting. We found out how to make the life straw and why you use the materials that you use. We found out how you use it and who uses it. Yeah, the purpose of this project is to make our own life straw with some cheap materials and see if it works. We expect to learn about life straws and how it works. And we also expect to learn about how you can filter water and what materials you can use to do so.
Yeah. What is a life straw? The life straw we'll talk about now is not the life straw we have made, but it's the life straw you buy on the store on the internet, because there is some small difference. Life straw is a water tool that cleans surface water and makes it safe for humans to drink. It's 25 centimeters long and 29 millimeters in diameter. The life straw can be hung around your neck in a string, so the life straw doesn't weigh too much. Life straw requires no electrical power or spare parts, so everybody in the world can use it. Also the Africans who doesn't have electricity. Life straw can filter up to 700 liters of water, and it removes most of the microorganisms responsible for causing waterborne diseases. A waterborne disease is a disease you can get if you don't drink clean water, and it's very deadly. Life straw kills diseases like diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid, and cholera. Actually, the life straw is made by a Danish guy called Mikkel Vestergaard.
How does the life straw function? The life straw contains Pyrotech disinfecting resin, which is an effective material that kills bacteria. Filters are also used in the life straw to remove particles down to 5 microns. 1 micron is a millionth of a meter. Active carbon is also used to withhold particles such as parasites and bacteria.
Is it safe to drink the filtered water? The level of bacteria in the water will be reduced to levels that will be safe for humans to drink. The risk of getting a disease is very minimal, but it can happen. The released amount of iodine in the water treated from life straw is not normally damaging the human health. But people that having some special problems or allergic reactions to iodine must get medical advice before using this tool.
Lifetime of the life straw. The life straw can be used about a year. That's about 2 liters per day. That's the average that people drink with it. And that's 700 liters in a year. If you do not buy a new one after the 700 liters or 1 year, the water will not get filtered well enough. So you have a higher risk of getting the waterborne diseases. If you don't have access to a doctor or hospital, if you get the disease, you could die. If you use the life straw to drink salt water, the lifetime of the life straw will be greatly reduced to about half a year or 350 liters. That's because the salt water is very damaging to the components of the life straw.
Yeah. How to utilize the life straw. It's recommended to blow out the last mouthful of water and some air through the life straw. This will clean the filters of whatever dirt, silt and sand that might have gotten stuck in the life straw. So that means if you have a life straw before you go to bed, you need to clean your life straw, because then if you don't do that, it would be more and more worm. So yeah, then you have a higher chance of getting a waterborne disease.
Why was the life straw invented? 1.1 billion people in the world do not have access to clean drinking water. Even those that have access to a water source do not have a simple way of transforming the water into clean, safe drinking water. Waterborne diseases are a huge problem for the environment and for human health. Waterborne diseases are caused by drinking dirty water. Waterborne diseases cause 3.4 million deaths per year. This is the materials that we use for our life straw. We use one plastic tube that is 15 centimeters long and has 2.5 centimeters in diameter. But you can also vary the size. It doesn't really matter. We use 2 cotton balls, 1 coffee filter, 1 rubber band, and 15 grams of activated charcoal. We then, for this size, we used 100 milliliters of dirty water. We took some rainwater and some dirt and we filtered it. But you can also use more or less, depending on the size of the life straw. We used 2 cups in this experiment and a funnel and a measuring cup for 1 deciliter.
Yep. Procedure. Well, I'm saying the procedure, Magnus here will make the experiment. First you take a long plastic tube and saw it off, so the tube is about 15 centimeter long and has a diameter of 2.5 centimeter. Then you take a coffee filter and seal one end of the tube with a rubber band. Yep. And then you take a cotton ball and jam it down in the other hole until it's reached the coffee filter.
Yeah. Then we put 25 grams
of activated charcoal down in the life straw.
Yes.
And then we put another cotton ball and force it as close to the charcoal as possible. And then it's done, and you can just add some dirty water, and then it will go out on the other end and will be perfectly clean.
Yeah. Inside the life straw, we decided to look at the layers of filtering materials we had in the life straw to see what took the most dirt. The first layer of cotton, the top layer, took most of the big chunks of dirt. There was a very thick layer on top of the cotton, and it filtered the most. The second layer was the activated charcoal. The activated charcoal did not filter anything like visibly, but that's not what we had it for. We mainly had the activated charcoal to filter off any bacteria or viruses or parasites that may be in the dirty water. The next layer is the second cotton ball, which also took a very big amount of dirt. Not as big as the top one, but it still took a lot. The last layer was the coffee filter, which took almost nothing. There was, of course, not much that it could take left. So there was a very thin layer of dirt on top, almost like dust on the school tables after a weekend. Everything bad had been filtered off, and only the clean water was left. We then tasted it and compared it to normal tap water, and it tasted the same, maybe even better.
Results. Our experiment was to put activated charcoal in the life straw. We got the idea by checking the materials in a life straw you can buy on the internet or in the store. We read that activated charcoal will filter all the small bacteria, viruses and diseases that might have been in the dirty water. So we thought that the activated charcoal would be very effective. The charcoal experiment went pretty well. It could sort all of the dirty water, and after we tasted the water, and it tasted the same as normal water. We got very surprised by that because we didn't expect that the water was that the life straw was so good at filtering the dirty water. We measured the total amount of solids in the water and in normal tap water, and we found out that our filtered water was more clean than the normal tap water. The tap water has 139 solids in the water, and our had only 82. So our water is almost double as clean as the normal water you drink every day. How did we measure how clean the water is? We used a measuring device that's called Liquid that measuring the total dissolved solids. Dissolved solids refer to any materials, salts, or other things that could be in the water. And total means the number of mineral salts or metals that could be in the water. And so total dissolved solids means how many things, bad things that's in the water. So we put the measuring device in the tap water. This is the measuring device. And you can see on the side there, it said the number. Yeah.
So why did we use the activated charcoal to filter? Some bacteria and viruses can be as small as 10 nanometers. Almost nothing in the world can filter off such small things. At least nothing below 600 kronas per filter. That's why we use the activated charcoal. The charge of the activated charcoal attracts 99.9% of the virus and bacteria, and they then stick to the charcoal. Charcoal is carbon. Activated charcoal is charcoal that's been treated with oxygen to open up millions of tiny pores between the carbon atoms. The word adsorb is very important here. When a material adsorbs something, it attaches to it by chemical attraction. The big surface area of the activated charcoal gives it many bonding sites, meaning places where viruses and bacteria can get stuck on. When chemicals pass next to the activated charcoal surface, they attach to the surface and get trapped, so they can't get in our bodies. Activated charcoal is good at trapping other carbon-based impurities, as well as things like chlorine. Many other chemicals are not attracted to carbon at all, for example sodium and nitrates and so on, and they will pass right through. This means that an activated charcoal filter will remove certain impurities while ignoring others. It also means that once all the bonding sites are filled, an activated charcoal filter stops working. Then you must replace the filter. That's also what happens to the life straw.
Conclusion. In our hypothesis, we wrote that we expected that the life straw would be good, but not all the bacteria will be filtered away. That was not correct. About 99.9% of the bacteria was filtered away, but the last 0.1% bacteria is not damaging the human body. We think that it's hard to make a homemade life straw because you need a lot of materials that are very hard to obtain. You also need to be very precise, and that's hard when you don't have like a machine that can make it. We found out that the best materials is to use activated charcoal. We also wrote that maybe it would have an aftertaste, and that was wrong too. So all in all, we concluded that the life straw works and get us very clean water by using activated charcoal.
Considerations for the future. If we were to do the experiment again, we would probably try with some proper filters to filter liquids instead of cotton balls and coffee filters. We found some filters like that on the page where we bought the activated charcoal, because they're used to do the same thing practically. Those filters cost more than 600 kronas per filter, and they're also way too large for this. If we were to do an experiment with that, we would have to get them custom made and also buy them. So if we had to make a life straw with that, we would have to get them custom made and also buy them, and that would be very expensive. One product with that would cost around 1,000 kronas for us to make, because we do not have the right network and connections to get that fixed. Then it would be stupid to buy ours for 1,000 kronas when you can get the professional stuff for around 200 kronas. Yes. Credits. We would like to thank our teachers, especially Ellen and Mihaela, for answering our questions and helping us with stuff about the experiment and our presentation. And also my parents for helping with the board and practical stuff.
And then we would like to thank my father for helping with the materials, and all the other teachers that gave us lessons where we could work on the science fair project. Thank you for listening.